Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
An inmate at Cass County Jail has tested positive for COVID-19. This comes at a time when community spread is the leading source of infection in the state. Valley News Team's Alexandra Kay explains how officials are moving forward to make sure that the Cass County Jail doesn't become a community spread hotspot.
Cass County has its first case of the coronavirus within the jail walls. On April 7th, a man in his 30s was arrested by Fargo Police Department and brought to Cass County Jail, where he was met by medical personnel and taken into isolation.
And during their assessment of this individual, they started noticing symptoms that were consistent with COVID-19.
The inmate, who has not been named yet, tested positive Saturday afternoon. Officials say he will remain in isolation until jail leaders are certain that he is no longer sick and can be moved.
So that person will continue to be isolated and monitored by our medical staff. And any additional people that will be coming in will certainly do the exact same process as we've done with this person. Obviously, it worked. We caught this person before they could make it back to our general population, so we feel very confident in the process that we have in place.
At this time, Cass County Jail is screening its employees before every shift. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, is worn by all employees. The roughly 160 inmates are given the option to wear masks and gloves and are being provided with sanitation spray. Cass County officials say they are constantly updating their processes.
If there's new information that comes out, we may look to potentially change something. We're always looking ways to make things better, of course. We'll continue to evaluate that on a day-to-day basis. But for right now, we feel like our procedure is fairly sound in how we're doing stuff.
Several intake officers that came into contact with the inmate are at home in self-isolation and will be tested before returning to work. In Fargo, Alexandra Kay, Valley News Live.
Fargo Police Department says they are following all employee health guidelines. They are not providing additional information about this case at this time. New numbers released today show 15 positive cases of COVID-19 in North Dakota. The state now has a total of 308 cases. Cass County leads all counties with 107, followed by Burleigh County at 50. One person in Ward County has died, bringing the total of deaths to 8. The man who died was in his 50s and had underlying health conditions. There are currently 12 people hospitalized for the disease and 121 people have recovered. Minnesota state health officials confirmed 194 positive COVID-19 tests today, bringing the total to 1,621. This is the most positive cases confirmed in a single day since the beginning of testing. The new cases include 11 in Clay County. Currently, 157 patients are hospitalized, with 74 in intensive care. Today's update includes an additional 6 COVID-19 deaths ranging in age from their 60s to 90s for a new statewide total of 70. 842 patients no longer need isolation. Smithfield Foods announced today that it is closing its pork processing plant in Sioux Falls until further notice after hundreds of employees tested positive for the coronavirus. The plant has become a hot spot for infections. Health officials said that 293 of the 730 people who have tested positive in South Dakota work at the plant. Today, Smithfield announced the plant's indefinite closure. The Sioux Falls facility is one of the largest pork processing plants in the U.S. There is no evidence that the coronavirus is being transmitted through food or its packaging, according to the Department of Agriculture. We first showed you this video of Porch Pirates stealing packages in West Fargo. Now, one of the perpetrators has been caught. Today, neighbors received a special Easter gift when officers showed up at their door and returned some of the stolen items. Neighbors say working together made all the difference.
The fact that the neighborhood kind of rallied together and collected and shared all the details that ended up enabling the police to act so quickly is just kind of a testament and the power to the power of the herd and, you know, the force of a community kind of acting together.
Police are still looking for the others involved. If you have any information, contact police. The coronavirus pandemic has canceled many celebrations nationwide this year, but Easter Sunday isn't one of them. Even in quarantine, the Red River Valley is keeping the holiday spirit alive. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie shows you how families are getting creative to celebrate this Sunday.
Easter in the Valley looks a lot different this year for families like Crystal Gossens.
I would be up in Minot because yesterday was my mom's birthday on top of it.
Instead, Crystal and her 4 kids celebrated in Fargo with Sandy's Donuts, and they finished the night off with a big meal.
Typically, we have family over, but because of the social distancing, we are home alone, my husband and I, and so it's pretty quiet.
Dee Ralston and her husband are keeping their holiday traditions alive, baking homemade bread and streaming their church service online. Perry Staggle and his family started their morning the same way.
From there, we're probably going to be we've been putting puzzle together, probably play some games later. Now I'm just kind of in the process of getting supper going.
The Roods had a jam-packed day, dressing up for a meal, dyeing eggs, and getting a visit from the Easter Bunny. The Lachaumes spent the morning at the race shop. They're making new traditions along the way.
Just be really appreciative of the things that we do have, the people that we have. Just love your family and just really being able to reflect on the things that matter in life and just being really grateful.
For all of these families, it was a unique Easter. Still, one that was full of celebration and joy. In Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Here at Valley News Live, we are wishing you all a happy Easter. We hope you got to spend all day with your loved ones. English Lutheran Church in Medina held an Easter parade this morning. Pastor Lynn Schultz says people loved last month's social distancing parade so much they decided to have another one. Others from nearby towns parked alongside the roads to see how the town of 300 lets everyone know we're in this together. Taking a look across the nation, in Pennsylvania, people listened from the comfort of their cars while attending service at a Becky's drive-in movie theater in Walnutport. Other services were live streamed online, including Arlington National Cemetery's annual Easter sunrise service. St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City live streamed this year's Easter Mass. In Atlanta, the Baptist Church, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. preached, also utilized streaming for today's service. Glorious Way Church in Houston opted for an in-person service, but practiced social distancing among the congregation. And like Houston, not everyone celebrated from quarantine. In some states like Kansas, governors implemented executive orders to keep church gatherings to a maximum of 10 or fewer. Some argued this goes against their constitutional right to freedom of religion. Governor Doug Burgum asked people to stay home but didn't mandate it. In Dickinson, at least one church held in-person services. Pastor Bob Simons of New Life Pentecostal Church says he expected about 100 people to show up to celebrate Easter services. This is what the parking lot looked like at around 11 a.m. when services started. Simon says his church took some precautions. He says he told elderly and people with immune system issues to stay home. Church members made sure those entering used hand sanitizer. He also spaced out the pews and had families sit apart from each other.
For myself, I feel like I have we have the individual rights to, if I want to get sick, then I can be sick. I hope I don't get it and hope nobody else does.
People in the Dickinson community we spoke to that didn't want to go on camera, they said that they called the hosting of this service irresponsible. We are happy to report that we are starting to get A+ to you shout outs. If you are a teacher, a student, even a parent of a student, we here at Valley News Live want you to take part. Record and send us a short video, no more than 15 seconds. Make it a message to your teacher, to your classmates, to your students. We'll feature them on Valley News Live at 5, 5:30, and also at 6. Videos can be uploaded by going to valleynewslive.com. Click on the upload photo link on the right-hand side of your screen, and then click on the add your media to the A+ to you link. And one more thing, when you record your video, make sure you turn your phone this way. It's called landscape. That way your video will fill out the entire TV screen.